Hi, welcome to Big Sexy Chat. I'm Crystal.
I'm Murph.
We're just two rad fatties sitting around
Chewing the fat.
Twice a month, we'll be chatting about current events,
Hot topics.
sex, sex toys, fat politics, fat community, cannabis, CBD, you name it, we're going to talk about it. We are very excited to have you a part of our community. Welcome and enjoy.
On this episode of Big Sexy Chat, we're taking a break from our normal format and bringing you in up close and personal to some of the exceptional humans we had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing at FatCon, so you can get to know them a little too. And don't worry, we won't just be sharing these outstanding humans with you. We'll be busting out more and more interviews from our time there in the coming weeks, so that way you can be included in this remarkable fat community. Without further ado,
Hi, y'all. We're here today on the last day of the con. Woo! Everybody's on a little high. We just came back from the fashion show.
Yes.
And it was just like raffle. That's not a raffle ceremony. Someone won the Big Fig mattress, which is like quite a good job. I know. And we're so excited to have Briq with us here today. Goddess at Briq. Goddess Briq House.
Yes. All the above.
But only two, like a normal goddess, you said. Q for cute, for queer, and then house just like normal spelling.
Yes.
House.
Goddess Briq House.
You
gotta
get
get
out
on.
there. Yeah. So welcome, you're the MC today, and she is fabulous, of course. We get this one, you do that a lot.
I do that a lot.
Seem like
It's
you
one
want
of
your
my
goodness.
it's one of my tricks in my bag.
Yeah, that's good. Can't have too many tricks, that's for sure.
Well, you know. We do.
And you're located here in the area, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm based in Seattle, Washington, and but I go everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
International.
I'm an international help.
Love it.
I love it. So tell everybody a little bit about the many ventures that you participate in.
So many. So I am an erotic entrepreneur, which means that all my businesses are sex-based businesses. And a major portion of my businesses are around the sexual healing and liberation of people, but especially around Black and brown femmes and people of all genders and all bodies. But I have a special affinity for and knowledge about what it's like to grow up as a Black femme and the things that we, go through as far as like finding our spirituality and our sexuality and allowing them to exist together. Those are things that are really important to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm a very spiritual help.
Yeah.
I believe in getting us grounded and grounding.
The therapist to me, you recognize.
Yeah.
Grounded.
Yeah.
It's so important. I think a lot of people just kind of neglect the idea.
Absolutely.
How important that is and how it increases that sexual drive.
Oh, absolutely. I produce a couple of events. One of them is the Sunday Night Sugar Shack, which is an all BIPOC burlesque review. And then I also produce Kink Social Club, which is an all BIPOC play party. And it's the only one in Seattle that is of that size. And we only have two in Seattle. It's us and Pleasure Holes, another great group. They do all queer BIPOC parties, and mine are Black and brown folks of all genders, of all sexualities.
Cool.
And yeah, we are fighting real hard to keep kink spaces in Seattle. Unfortunately, we don't have that many kink spaces in the world in general.
Yeah.
Just nobody does. We need more sex positive spaces. We need more sex positive spaces. We need more sex positive spaces.
We do.
But we especially need more sex positive spaces where Black and brown folks can feel comfortable to engage without being under the white gaze. And so it was really important for me as I was on my kink journey to try to create a space that I wanted to be in myself. And it's been really successful and really wonderful. So yeah, I'm very excited to do the work.
I've heard a lot from other people that there's like people of color are really underrepresented when it comes to kink world and also like polyamory. Things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
mostly.
Yeah.
So-
I'm also polyamorous.
Talking.
I know. I know. And bisexual. Wow.
Sorry.
Shut up. Wow. This is a real fine girl named Sofsy at the convention.
Oh, yeah.
She's
one of our favorites.
Yeah. I don't know if you know her, but if you can put a word in. I'd appreciate that.
She's giving you the eyes.
Yeah.
Y'all do have matching eyelashes.
Listen. Hey.
It's really fun this afternoon. It was such a blast. It was so great to see everybody.
Everybody was working it.
Yeah.
Everybody was so fucking sexy. I want more. I want us to have even more clothes, more models. I'm really excited about what y'all are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And all the partnerships that you're I was like, you're going right into this. So I was rolling with you.
Yeah.
Sex toys, right?
We're getting close. We're getting very close to sex toys. I think we can all spend some time, like a whole podcast, having this discussion.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I think we should.
Yeah. I mean, when you get sex educators together, all we're going to do is talk about getting off. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm down. Let's go.
I love it. My question though was a little bit more around, you came to our panel and you had some good questions.
Yes.
Are you thinking possibly a podcast in the future?
So what I'm actually thinking about is like talk show in the future.
Oh,
yeah. So I've got some ideas around a very intimate show around, it's literally, I want it to be around intimacy and, sexual healing. And I think a lot of times when we're in sex positive spaces, we spend a lot of time talking about getting off. But I really want to talk more about the things that keep us from getting off, the things that hold us back, the things that we work through, our small victories. I think everybody's like, so like pressure to talk about like squirting and like all these things. But like, what about just actually being able to enjoy the moment, or being able to enjoy the moment with the lights on, or being able to express yourself fully and take breaks and talk about your needs from a place of you're not apologizing for it, but because you're excited to share your needs and, those kinds of things that I think aid in the getting off. I think we should spend more intimate time talking about the intimate details.
One of my clients just told me he's mostly has sex with men, and she says, you don't tell a man that you're a squirter.
Oh,
all they're going to do is but she goes, also, that does mean is that they're going to be tenacious, that,
doing too much.
You have to be the one that kind of communication is lubrication.
It is, always.
To have that conversation of like, it doesn't have to be your, all the other things.
Just because you saw that in the bad porn you watched.
Yes. Sorry, our education system when it comes to sex education is so terrible.
It's terrible. That's why we're here. That's why we keep doing what we're doing. I am determined for us to relearn. So the stuff that we learned was not helpful.
And learning from porn is a bad idea anyway.
Yeah.
It's not real life.
No. Well, I mean, unless you're...
I'm trying to make my life.
Unless you are consuming ethical porn. Because ethical porn made by those of us who are like in the field, because I also do like erotic films.
Yes.
You can find me on the place where fans go. So yeah, but when you are looking at the art, you're not seeing, most of the time, you're not seeing like the people who are putting in the time and the effort and the energy to make it a beautiful experience and make it like really realistic. So that's why I'm really so grateful for independent porn professionals, because they get the good stuff. That's
the gritty good stuff. And good lubes. And the real Astro guys.
Good toys.
Gosh. What's your favorite? We're going to ask you at the end. So let's ask you now. What's your favorite?
Crave Vesper.
Oh, really? I haven't tried that way.
Well, please describe, because I have not heard of that.
So, it is a necklace.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You wear it around your neck. It's very slim. And I really like it because, I can just lay it somewhere and allow it to hang out.
Strong enough for you to get us?
Absolutely. There's multiple speeds.
I was reading about that.
I also like how small it is because it's easy to fit in between people. So not only can it fit between your labia, depending on how your things are set up, but it can rest between all types of genitalia, 2 different kinds, 3 different kinds, 4 different kinds, however you want to throw stuff in there. Depends on if you're at
like a good gunboat, just
exactly. There. A few parties happening. But yeah, I feel like it's really easy to like put in between little things, and you can just leave it to do its job while leaving your hands free to do other things.
Or you can just wear it around all day long.
You can wear it around all day long.
And you can wear it as a necklace.
Yes, I do love that. And it's kind of like your little secret. So other people who have one, they know. They're like, your little winky wink, So I enjoy it.
Yeah. I have never heard of that. I don't know how.
And it comes in Crave Vesper. Y'all need to sponsor.
They do.
It comes in rose gold, silver, and gold.
Nice.
And you can get it engraved.
Since I totally butchered it, let's tell Crave Vesper exactly how to find you.
You can find me on MxPucksAPlenty.com. That is MSBRIQHOUSE.com. You can also find me on OnlyFans and Instagram under Goddess Briq House. That's Goddess BRIQHOUSE. Yeah.
And I think we need everyone to hear the apology story that you talked about.
OMG. Okay. So I had someone who just, was not loving me right. And so they got blocked because I had already explained that they weren't loving me right. I wasn't like just blocking them and then talking to them because I don't believe in ghosting. So I explained to them why they were getting blocked, and then I blocked them. And then in order to try to reach back out to me, even though they were blocked, they started sending me money through Cash App, because in Cash App you can leave a little message. And so every little amount that they sent, they would send a little message, and they kept, increasing the amount as they sent messages because they knew that I was not going to, I was going to respond back until I saw something worth my while. Right. So eventually I did see something worth my while. I responded back again to be like, you're still blocked. And, and let that just keep going. Yeah, keep it up. And they did. Eventually they reached a number that felt like I could tolerate maybe a 5-minute conversation with them, and I did.
And let's face it, we know some people get off on doing that. They love being told what to do. And
yes. Well, I am also a professional dom.
Right.
So, I enjoy.
People like to give money. So
yes, exactly. And I enjoy receiving that. So it worked out for me in the end. And it worked out for them because they were able to at least give me something for myself.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's fabulous. When you said that, I was just like, this is the most genius idea ever.
Yeah.
I love it.
I want more I think, sex work is real and sacred work. And I think that it is the key to liberation for a lot of us. So I'm excited about my financial future as a sex worker. And I'm really excited about, the future for the rest of us.
I think that's beautiful and brilliant. I want to just remembering a story I heard was about a friend who worked at a brothel, and basically men paid to come see her and give her oral sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
She just received oral sex and the money, and then
that's my favorite.
This is my dream job.
Hello.
Application. Yeah,
absolutely.
Podcaster / person who receives money and oral.
Yeah, I had one who he just loved to buy me shoes, and that was my favorite. All he wanted was pictures of me in my pretty little shoes that he bought.
Beautiful.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that guy.
Your shoes today were super cute.
Thank you.
Those are from Plus Best?
My outfit was from Plus
Okay.
Best. Yes, it was.
You just happen to have those shoes that work?
Yeah, I just happen to have those shoes. I also picked those.
Copper, like the heel was interesting.
Yeah. They're by Sam Middleman.
Okay.
Circus by Sam.
So Ashley made these really cool lanyards that say "and sexy because." So why are you sexy?
I'm sexy because I'm a go-getter.
Oh, I like that answer.
Yeah. That's why I'm sexy.
Yeah.
I see it. I go out there.
I respect the hustle. I always find that super hot.
Yeah.
I like people that are get it.
Well, and you just have a variety of things.
I do.
So
I have a variety of things. One of the things that I did want to tell you all about is that I am opening a size inclusive bikini briefs stand here. So yeah, keep your eye out for that. That's gonna be really exciting.
That's awesome.
Yes, I've already purchased the Airstream. It is huge. So it can fit all of our beautiful, delicious bodies in it. It's gonna be a drive-through situation. So we are in the very, very beginning phases of that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to have something else to come talk to y'all about once it's up.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a little coffee shack in San Jose. It's called Pink Panther. And it's run by women in bikinis.
Yes.
And when they first opened, the neighbors were like so mad, like big mad. So these older ladies would come over to the parking lot and lay in the parking lot to block people from fleeing to the drive-thru. Well, guess what? People just parked and got out of their car. Came over to the picnic table, got their shit, took their pictures, and went home.
Yeah.
These ladies just laid on asphalt. I don't know about you. There's nothing I would fucking lay on asphalt for.
No, absolutely not.
Gross.
Also, why are you mad at bikinis? What have bikinis ever done to you?
They just,
who's mad at that?
Our neighborhood's going to go. I'm like, this is shit neighborhood anyways.
And I just, if anything, it's going to brighten the neighborhood.
I mean, right? It did, actually.
So I'm excited about it.
They've been in business for about 10 years. And they're kitty corner of Starbucks.
I love that.
This is the best.
I mean, if you have an option, I'm going with the bikinis. Come on. I don't even care if the coffee's not good.
No.
I'm still going there. My coffee will be good. Right. But yes, I'm excited about it.
Well, let's talk about how are you envisioning? Are you going to paint it? Are you
man, this is that we are literally in the very beginning phase. So it's like we started right before the pandemic, and then pandemic happened. And so now it's like we can finally start figuring out how we're going to do it. So contractors, people with visions, architects, everybody, we need you all hands on board, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just got the vision, but the how to get there, I have no idea. We'll all find out when we get there.
You could put a stripper pole in there.
Oh, that's the plan.
Portable. Okay,
that's the plan. It's going to be all sex workers in there doing our thing.
So fun. Yeah. I'm like, why don't I live in Seattle?
I mean, we're still participating. Yes. Also, we need more.
Yeah.
Yes, we need more out there. Because, I love bikini barista stands, but I would love them even more if I could go around and see somebody who looked like me.
Yeah.
Like, wow, make it double the fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you identify with the word fat?
I do. Yeah.
How long you been out?
Oh, let's see. Well, I mean, I think I've been out since my whole childhood because, the older family members are always like, always had something to say about the weight I was gaining and losing and why and how. And, but I think I kind of was forced to accept it probably like around my like late teens, early 20s. Because it was just always a subject that everybody needed to talk about. And I used to live in a different life. I used to be a praise and worship leader and be really into like this Christian church cult situation. And there was always a conversation around me leading praise and worship because I was too distracted, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
I moved too much. They wanted me to be in girdles and other things and stuff. It just was like, I'm not going to do that.
Plus you're a heathen.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see where I am now. Obviously, I'm where I should have been the whole time. Yeah. However, it was just always a conversation piece. And so I just was like, yeah, here I am. Yeah. And I'm now it's going to be even tighter. So, now I just started fucking with people. Yeah. I was giving my all to the Lord,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's when I finally was like, fuck this. I'm gonna do this. Oh, also one time, I used to be married. That's hilarious. And hi divorcees. At one time I used to be married and there was a in-law that was like, you can't keep eating that. You don't need to eat anything else. They were watching me eat. And we were all eating, but they just had something to say to me. And they're like, yeah, you don't need to have anything else. And I was like, oh, well, your son loves it. So, I don't really know what to say about that. I think he would actually have to keep eating.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to. As a matter of fact, if you can get me some more honey,
right.
Keep on eating now.
So have second.
Have second. And thirds and fourths.
If you don't like it. Yeah. I always think like, why, if you're feeding me, sucking me, or financing me, maybe you can give me your opinion.
Yes. That doesn't mean I'm going to take it. You are welcome to share it.
Sure.
Depending on how you share it. Because
Any of those. Yeah. So what's up besides the what do you call those things? I'm sorry. I'm blanking on those big rope RVs that you want to.
Oh,
Airstream.
Airstream.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Besides Airstream, what's in your future? What are you planning? What's going on?
I am really, really interested in sex tech. I'm deeply interested in sex tech and in the ways in which we can have more representation. There are so many things happening in sex tech and AI, and I really want there to be diverse bodies and diverse sexualities and genders, and I want us to be a part of that. I feel like a lot of times people make money off of us, the image of us, but I want us to be more behind the scenes and owning the software, owning the toys. I have some that's why I was in your talk and I was really excited to hear about you all partnering with different sex toy companies because I'm really interested in creating. I have some ideas around types of toys and accessories.
Are there any Black-owned sex toy manufacturers or designers yet?
I believe I know of one. Her name is Nina and she owns Fillmore, which is sex toy.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's it. I don't know anyone else. I'm sure there are more, but there needs to be more.
Right.
So I plan on being one of them.
Yes. Great goal. Thank you so much. You're so appreciated.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
I just came from an amazing keynote speech conversation with Tigress Osborn, who was talking today about NAPA and all the different things that NAPA can do for all of us and that we all have to get involved and help them with our money and our time and our legwork. And it was wonderful as always. Thank you, Tigress. So happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you for coming to the keynote.
Of course.
I know y'all have been very busy all this conference. So I'm really honored that you made time to pop in for that.
So tell us a little bit about your position with NAPA and how long you've been advocating for all of us fatties. I know it's a long time, more than the 3 years you've been involved with NAPA.
I've been involved with NAPA for, I've been involved with NAPA since 2012. I hosted a fashion show for NAPA, produced a fashion show for NAPA in 2012.
Nice.
And then I was the board chair for 2 years and now the executive director. So I think that's the 3 years that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But I started my life as a sort of public figure of fatness when I created Full Figure Entertainment in Oakland in 2008, which FFE was like a nightlife promotion company. So I hosted hip hop parties in Oakland and San Francisco for about 9 years.
My mom and I went to one.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "What?" She's still actually getting used to the whole concept of being it's okay to be called fat. So it was an eye opener for her.
Yeah. At FFE, we used Full Figure because that was the name of the organization, but we used fat all the time amongst, ourselves. And I was, just beginning to learn more about, I'd known about NAFA since I was 18. I first learned about NAFA when I was in college because someone at my college, Carrie Hemingway, who's a really active member of NAFA's Boston community back then, did a presentation at my school. It was actually on my 18th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Did a presentation. I think it was called Large Body Ladies. It had some kind of name like that. But she just talked about there was what size acceptance was, which was the term NAFA was using then. Now we use the term fat liberation to talk about the movement, but or fat rights sometimes, fat advocacy. But anyway, I learned about it when I was 18, but I didn't get involved until I was in my 30s. And yeah, as the board chair, I helped to recruit a lot of new people to NAFA and create set a more intersectional tone for our work. And so now what we're leaning into is doing a lot of work around changing the narratives and media narratives, especially about what fat is and what fat, can be and should be allowed to be. And then, of course, we're doing a lot of work with our campaign for size freedom, which we co-founded with our friends at Flair,
right?
Which is a fat legal advocacy organization. And the campaign works on supporting passing more legislation to outlaw size discrimination.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. So much work to do there, but the work y'all have done so far is just amazing.
Well, we don't do it alone, right? We do it in really, working in coalition with other organizations and in New York City, which is what a lot of people are excited about now because it's the most recent law that was passed last year and went into effect in November. And in New York City, we worked really closely with labor movement in particular. But we're just building lots of other kinds of coalitions.
So one of the things that we've been doing is Ashley, extraordinary producer, everything, came up with this creative idea to ask people, I'm sexy because we're Big Sexy Chat. So we want to know, why are you sexy?
I'm big. I'm big, sexy me. And I'm sexy because I'm smart and sassy.
That's for sure.
Also, let's boost the sexy for 2024.
Please, yes.
What has been your most exciting or interesting thing that you've seen here at FatCon?
I just, I love just seeing the folks together, right? What's really exciting for me is getting to meet people who it's their very first time being in a fat positive space with a lot of other fat people. I love being in spaces like this because folks bring their most audacious outfits and, and they're, they come, things they may or may not wear in their regular lives, but they know they're in a space where people are going to appreciate that. And so I just love the people watching. I love watching people. Seeing what turns other people on about fat lib stuff that's new for them or that they're getting reawakened about. And then just just getting to see everybody love on each other.
Yeah. The little times that we've been able to step out, that was the one thing I really noticed is that there's so much more hugging and pats on the arms or the back, just at any convention, you don't usually see that kind of stuff. And so to see all these people just oh, I've seen you or, oh, it's so nice.
I was on a panel with a therapist and she also does a body positive, a fat positive yoga space. And one of the things she said to the people in the room was, there are people here, everyone here wants something great for you. They don't even know your name and they want something good for you. And I wrote that down word for word. I just stopped in the middle. I'm supposed to be answering this question too. And I'm over here just because I wanted to capture that word for word, what she said, because it's true, right? And you can feel that in the energy here. And I've been in other, even at, in nightlife, like I said, I started in nightlife. In nightlife, there's a lot of people that want something good for you. There's a lot of people that just want your goodies, and there's a lot of, and people are drinking and it's, there are people who are, who did what to who, and he said, she said, and this one did this with that one's man, and there's all this like drama, right? So there is all this wonderful space. You can be in these like nightlife collectives or the BBW bashes or like spaces like that where you can get some of this, right? You get these vendors who are selling badass fat people stuff, and you get, you know, people making friends, and you get to see everybody in their swimsuit at the pool and like all of that stuff. But there's also some competition, you know, there's like some social competition, or there's competition for like who's trying to have sex with this one. And now like there's all this other stuff, plus there's community stuff, and there's all this other stuff. And I'm sure there's some of that here. Like, I'm sure there are people here like, who can I get down with? I'm sure. But the overall feeling here is really a feeling of support. Like everybody is excited to be with each other. Everybody is excited to like tell each other the things they love about other people. Like I've had, you know, so many people be like, oh, BigSexyChat, you know that? I've had so many people be like, you know, oh, BigSexyChat, that changed my, you know, like that's my intro to something. And or about, you know, oh, you'll know so-and-so, or like, it's not just what are you doing? It's also, I'm excited to tell you about how excited I was about the other things I'm doing here, or the other people I've gotten a chance to meet or take pictures with, or I just wanted to go to so-and-so's workshop, you know? And it's just like, it feels really contagious, and it feels really, like it's just, like an infinity loop, right? Like it just keeps, or an, oh, it's like an analogy that, that it just keeps, you know, you give, you get, you get. Yeah, it's really, really good energy here.
I'm curious. We've had you on the pod multiple times, and we always ask at the end of the pod what your favorite sex toy is. And the topics that you've come on to speak with us about on the pod have never included really having the talk about sex and sex positivity. And
it's weird to go from like, you know, here's the work that we did with this city councilman and city council, and let me tell you about this vibrator. Like it's a weird transition, right?
Well, then we talked about hysterectomies, and that was sexy. So sexy. It was just not the sexy time. So I'm curious now that we have you here. We've kind of evolved this question, so it's not just the vibrator. Okay, it can be what's your favorite sex toy, sexual aid, or what gets you in the mood.
Oh, I would like someone to get me in the mood sometime soon. My mood has been a lot of NAFA, and that is, you know, it's sexy in that passionate work is sexy. You know, I am turned on by other people's passion about the world, like not just the things that are directly sexual, but like a passionate person is exciting to me. So that can help get me in the mood. And I am like one of those people who's genuinely like a really smart person. You know, just that is a turn on for me. But I've been, you know, being smart and sassy mostly in settings that are not the, you know, not the hookup settings. Or not I didn't go to the city council and see who I could holler at the city council, right? And so, so I feel a little rusty about like, let me jog some memories, but it definitely is like that vibe of like someone who is really passionate and really smart is like, that is a turn on for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Brain is the sexiest organ for sure.
It just leads to so many other things, because once you're connected on that level and feel that sort of vibe, it feeds into so many other things.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think someone taking me on a creative date would be a really big turn on for me at this stage in my life. Like I haven't like dated in a while. And when I think about just like, oh, we're just going to go to a restaurant, like that's great. Fine. But like, what else? You know, what else could we do? I would definitely be like, I'd be impressed. And, you know, if it was somebody that I had good chemistry with, it would be on. It's all at the end of a good creative date. I mean, I guess if the chemistry was good, it'd be on and popping at the end of how much Taco Bell. But like this special thing, I think that creativity is really sexy. You know, even like before you get to the bedroom, but then also when you get to the bedroom. I guess if you're being creative, when you get to whatever room, space, all the rooms.
Well, we again are so grateful for your time and the efforts that you're doing within the fat community and fat liberation. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Well, I listened to your review, so I know about the 50,000. Y'all
listeners
did all the things this year. So congratulations on your success. I don't only listen to, I don't only pay attention to your podcast when you invite me on.
Oh, right.
I am a listener.
Yeah,
I am a fan. So thank you for all the work that you do.
My pleasure. Our pleasure.
Another Infinity Room. Thank you, Infinity Room.
Yes. Also very grateful. You're a big reason why we are where we are. Yeah. So thank you.
Happy Merry Thickmas, everyone.
Yeah. Look who we have here. Yay, we have MxPucksAPlenty. So excited. It's such a great call, but you must be exhausted.
I'm very tired. I'm very tired.
You're so high. You're high and tired. Like,
yeah, it's one of those things where there's like the emotions are so high, and you need to go to sleep. You don't think you can.
Right.
I feel like there's a hum in the body, right? A hum in the body. Yeah.
It's so hard. The come down is difficult.
Yeah.
Especially like next week in a couple of weeks, you'll probably feel like really, because it's a lot. You've been for like a month or months and months getting ready, and then all of a sudden it's just done.
Yep. It's a huge adrenaline dump into the system. It's like it's straight up dopamine hit.
Yes.
And then the bottom's gonna come out.
Crash.
In cake, that's the so drop. And I'm like,
Yeah.
So thinking about what drop and all those things they're all very, very surreal. So I'm really lucky. One of my partners is taking tomorrow off and Tuesday off, so I can have some recovery time with some additional help. Because usually when this kinds of things end, I'm on my own the next day,
Right.
which is really rough.
Aftercare is so important for everything.
Bless. Yes.
So what was your favorite part? Did you have a favorite part?
Or a surprise.
I was surprised at how emotional I was this week. I was very emotional this weekend. I was crying on Wednesday when we got here, and we looked at how the space is so beautiful.
It's really nice.
It's really beautiful, right?
It's super clean.
And you think the space is super,
It sounds like 15 years old.
yeah,
to me, right?
it's an older building, and in the
Right.
grand scheme of things, you're in Seattle.
Sure.
But Wednesday was just like, oh, actually should be happening. Yeah, but so just the emotion, I was really surprised at how emotional I was the whole time. And in terms of my favorite part, just watching people make new friends.
Yeah,
Seeing those connections, hugging,
and asking for consent.
Yes. Yes. There's a lot of the connection, watching the connection. And then there's just these moments of we've been talking for months now, right? And so when you're hugging someone for the first time, that you've developed some level of intimacy, which you actually haven't been in the room with before. It's very confusing for the brain. The first time I threw my arms around Saucy, it felt oddly familiar, but this being the first time I was actually in the same room with this person. Yeah.
I got a little bit choked up during this fashion show. Because it's just first of all, fuck the rest of the world. Everybody should be able to sell this beautiful. And it's such a lovely place and space that you gave them, gave all of us. I was like, can't watch. And also, we used to have fashion shows, we had all kinds of sign at our Curvy Girl fashion shows, and we all missed it, and it was just ground up a little bit for me today. It was beautiful.
Yeah. The fashion show is gorgeous. Briq House and I are really good friends, and we share a lot of similarities in how we were raised and how we grew up, but also share a lot of similarities just in how we move in the world. And I love the way she could she controls an audience. She commands an audience.
I couldn't take my eyes off her. I was like,
she's beautiful. People are having Briq House in that outfit was just walking gay panic. A lot of gay panic this weekend anyway. I had a lot of gay panic this weekend. I was just
I'm not gay, but I was like,
yeah. I see you. I see you. I get it. Yes. Yeah.
You just gravitate towards her.
I want, my favorite feeling in the world is being hugged by Briq House. It was so good. was good. And I love her commentary and her little jokes and just everything about the way that she moves and she commands an audience. She's a very impressive individual.
Well, it's hard to take your eyes off of her, that's for sure. You're magnetic.
So I have so many questions, and obviously we don't have time to, go through all of them, but what was something that really stood out to you as like, I learned this from this weekend?
I learned that, I didn't really think I was a perfectionist, and I am a perfectionist apparently. Didn't know that for myself. And I was really struggling with like seeing some gaps and holes that like, I'm like, oh, how did I not think about that?
Right.
How did we not catch that? And so like the idea of next day quarterbacking actively as an event is happening. I don't think it's actually very productive, but it was happening. It was happening. We're just like, oh no, and there were just some things we didn't anticipate going viral. So, like having to anticipate bringing in security and things like that. Like there's
They were lovely.
Yeah. Right on the dikes on bikes. Wonderful.
Yes.
They're going, okay.
Yes.
They're just fantastic. So, I mean, I think there were a lot of things that there's some things that we didn't think about, but they also left like these really interesting opportunities to see how we can come together really quick, and like make some decisions happen. And then also watching how quickly we rallied. It's like going back on the dikes on bikes. I made a post about how like we're dealing with some fallout, and to have, their sergeant at arms reach out and be like, how can we show up for this community because we want to be there? And like, that's what it's all about. Like bringing near these different communities and how can we show up as allies? So it was really fun.
It's so really good to feel so supported by all of your community and so many people and all your volunteers. It's like, but they did that because of you. They did. You're the one. Yeah. It was also fun to meet the Silly Fat Con ladies. I've known them for so long and now to meet them in person. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a moment. Our events are very, very different.
Are they?
Well, I mean, our events are very different. Because their event is really focused on like elevating local Philly folks and kind of East Coast folks, and we're kind of this like global net. Like, you want to come teach? Oh, you live in Poland? Sure, come through. Right? Like it was kind of this thing, and just being able to have like a friendly rapport with them, like out the gate. Like one of the first things I said, where I was just like, "Hey, like we've also been here," and like I never wanted to come across as like, "Hey, we're going to change anything." One of the things that you said was just like, "We want you to come, and we want to come." Right. And so it was really, really neat to be welcomed into their space and into their home, and then welcomed into our space and our home. Just felt really, really good. I love that.
There's no competition. There's 7 billion people on the planet.
Yep.
There's plenty for all of us. It's more like collaboration, co-opetition is what I like to call it. And that's really beautiful. So it's such a great example for our community, for all of us.
I mean, it's scarcity mindset is not something I'm interested in.
Not sexy.
No, not at all. And I think that like this, collaboration, and realizing that like, there is room for all of us. And I think I love the idea of there being fat cons and all these different cities, having fat cons, and then Seattle is just like the Mecca at one point. Like everyone comes to Seattle and bring your fat cons, and I like next year I would love to see just tables of different fat events around the country coming here. I kind of like if you've ever been to like a leather event or like some pride events, and they have all the different pride flags. Yeah, I would love to have all the different like fat event flags on the stage the whole weekend. It would be really beautiful. Yeah,
us fatties need our own flag. Just occurred to me when you're saying that.
Yeah,
we need a good one. Make it purple.
Yeah.
When you listen to the trolls, they talk about how fat girls all love purple. Yeah, and then also they think that none of us have natural color hair. All fatties have some kind of pink or purple or green or teal in our hair.
At least the queer ones.
So, one of the things that we came up with, Ashley came up with, for the con was a badge that says, "I'm sexy because," and wanting to hear everyone's response to, "I'm sexy because." What was your response?
I am sexy because I exist. I exist in this body. I exist in this body. I am sexy because I exist in this body.
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah.
So how long have you identified as fat?
I feel like I started using the word fat to describe myself. Like right around when I got into kink. It started when I got into kink is when I started identifying as fat. So that would have been back almost a decade ago is when I felt comfortable. And then, if you notice any kind of communication with me on like online or anything like that, that is capitalized. Yeah. I capitalized black and I capitalized fat. And we did have some pushback in like when we were initially kind of figuring out like our language and stuff like that, for our website stuff. And, I was like, these capitalized fat. And I'm like, well, like these capitalized fat. I want it big. Right. It's a descriptor. It's big. But yeah, I always capitalize black and I always capitalize fat.
Wonderful. Well, you should.
Yeah. Neat. Did we ask when we originally spoke to you about your favorite sex toy?
We have not.
Oh my
gosh. I have this vibrator that has like it's like a no-name brand situation. It was gifted to me by a friend and I think it's on its last legs. So like on the search. But it's like just like a long it's a long cock. I don't insert it. I just like the straw, like it has like the right vibration. And I've had it forever and I know it's going to die. Like it's got probably like a good 6 to 9 months in it, maybe a year, you know, like you can hear it going counting down. Like not me like smacking it on the side where the batteries go sometimes because they make like a weird buzz. And I'm like, you're not working. But yeah, it's like one of my favorites. But like, I'm really curious about all these like little like the womanizer stuff. I'm like, I love reading the reviews that people read about the first time they use those toys and how their spirit leaves their body. And stuff. Yeah. I'm like, I would also like my spirit to leave my body.
Yes, exactly. It's quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
So highly recommended.
It's on my list of things to try. Because when I was younger, I was terrified of Hitachis.
Oh yeah.
They're so loud and I always thought like, I feel like I'm going to put it there and when I remove it, it's going to be like Barbie. I'm just going to see clean off. And I am almost 40 years old and that's still like an irrational fear that lives rent free in my head. I don't know.
Yeah. We gotta step up your sex toy game.
I know. Me and my like, dusty sex toy. This is the thing.
Hey, when it works.
I know.
But if it's getting ready to die, it's time for an upgrade.
Sounds like I got some weird family heirloom.
One thing I want to circle back to before we end this, I know we have to wrap it up. I find the kink community super, super duper body friendly. And I know there's those cliques of them that only, you know, like, I will only fuck a person who's, you know, thin and in shape. They can go fuck each other. That's fine. You guys find each other, whatever. But like 95% of the kink community is just like, are you into my kink?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, part of that, right, is like, especially when I'm talking about kink in general, like, it's like folks we live in a society that's both hypersex and sex repulsed at the same time. And so some like this idea of like this thing that has been so taboo to even talk about and like, even to talk about with your partner, like, you know, like if you're like, you know, clocked as a woman, if you know too much about what you like or enjoy, and you've definitely been around the block right. And then men are supposed to know everything because like they're, you know, so it's like you run into these erotic mismatches in people. And so when people finally decide to like come into kink, I think it's like people are like searching, people truly think that the thing they're interested in, that is, they are just alone in the world. Right. And so when you find someone that is like, yes, I'm into that, it can be this aha moment. And I definitely have seen a lot more like, welcoming relationships with folks who are fat and like straight size folks and things like that. And we're crossing those lines because their kinks are matching up. And then they're discovering that like behind this fat kinky person is the one that like actually has like the same interests as me and, you know, these things like that. I think there is a lot of dehumanization of fat people.
We're fully realized humans?
What? Stop. But I mean, I would say that by getting active in the sex positive community in Seattle, is where I started like my body positivity like journey. Cause at that time, that's what we're still calling it.
Yeah.
So much. And so it was the confidence of walking through a dungeon, you know, at first kind of in a risque outfit, then a very risque outfit, then like naked heels, you know, like that journey, that evolution. And
Nikki.
Yeah. I remember one of the first scenes I did as a dominant was with another fat femme, and we left people shook. We walked in, did the scene together, and we left. And I was getting messages on that live for weeks after, being like, were you the time that did that? That was some shit that you did. That was ridiculous. And then fucking just like ninja bandits kind of thing. Like, absolutely. I'm like, we weren't there for you.
Right.
Like, we were there for your eyes and your energy because I'm an exhibitionist.
Right.
Especially when people don't want me to be in the space and everything. I really like that because I'm a sadist. I'm like, we weren't there for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Take that. Put that in your hat.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
So where can people find all of the pucks?
Pucks used to be like MasterCard, was everywhere you want to be. I'm going to be traveling a little bit this year for some burlesque related stuff. We're going to sit down and have our debrief about FatCon, and something that came out of the Tale of Two FatCons panel. There are folks that want to join the FatCon team.
Okay.
Because really, it was 6 of us, and 6 of us is not enough for a kind of a hotel takeover style event. Yeah. And I'm just going to turn over there across the street. Over here is the Hyatt over there. All right. So we might move across the street next year. Technically, we outgrew the space in terms of the convention space. But
yeah, you're right. The convention space. Yeah.
We need a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
I'll tell you, as we've been potting this entire weekend, luckily there are beautiful windows out here. At the Hyatt was a furry convention.
Yes, it was.
So we would like between interviews stop and go, oh, there's shenanigans. People watch and oh, this is fun.
Yeah, we're folks that were like, hey, like if we do move across the street, like with this weekend, next year be available. Apparently the furry con, this has been their weekend. So we cannot have this weekend next year. Mm-hmm. So maybe let the following weekend.
Yeah.
But there's also whispers that it might be weekend of Valentine's.
Oh.
We don't know. We're just kind of looking at, planning these events are very expensive. So part of that is like reaching out to the hotels and like, what are the weekends that you're having the hardest time filling? That can't be Easter weekend. Everyone, their mom picks Easter weekend for a thing.
Do they?
Yeah. They're in Seattle. There are 2 cons that happen, 2 large cons that happen at Easter. And then down in Portland, there is Pink Fest every Easter. So,
what if people want to find you online? Your website is Puckduction.
So my website is, MxPucksAPlenty.com. So that's really good. You can go to, fatcon.org to learn more about FatCon. You can go to Fat Less Fest Northwest to learn more about Fat Less Fest. And then Instagram, though, I feel like is like, everyone's just kind of like, I was floored. Really, FatCon, so they don't have a website. Their trend is IG, and I'm like, that's amazing. Wow. That would have saved me a lot of energy and money. But we're on Instagram at the FatCon. The FatCon. We're also, you can also check me out at MxPucksAPlenty, Production, and Fat Less Fest Northwest. And if you're interested in kinky stuff, you can find me at The Hedonist Realist on Instagram.
Love it.
Yeah, that was a great name.
Yeah.
A friend called me that once, and we were talking. I'm really witty. I don't know where that comes from, but I know it's just like, I'm a hedonist. I'm like, but I do recognize that like every day can't be bacchanal because someone has to do the dishes. And she's like, oh my God, you're such a hedonist realist. And I'm like, that's the name of the book. Like, that's what happened. That's the life story right there. Yeah. It's like I envision a cover of me, like, in all, like, just me in like a jewel toned gown, and then everything's all jewel toned. And there's like all this decadent food and wine bottles all tipped over. And if you start looking at the picture, like, is that folded laundry back there? Is that kids' toys there? Is that a dude's under? Like, what is that? Like, it's like, I want everyone to have a pleasure-filled life, whatever that looks like for them, as long as they're not being harmed. That's
right.
That's what I feel.
I would say leave kids, animals, and your family out of it. Get down with your bad self.
Absolutely. I want to thank you, all of you, so much for being here and doing this work. I know it's a lot of work and chasing down people and like, I intentionally didn't sign up for a Slack. I'm like, they'll just slot me in. I'm going to be the last. Slot me in. But I really appreciate just how on board y'all have been from the word go. For sure. It means a lot. And like, y'all were on every single post, just like, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. And there were days where I was just like, this is going to be great. I don't know if anyone cares. And then I'd see BigSexyChat pop up. He's like, we're so excited. 1 million exclamation points. I'm like, if no one else is hyped, BigSexyChat is hyped. Okay, we're going to make this event for BigSexyChat. Like, it was a huge rallying thing for the team that like, even on the days where we're like, man, like, we'll start getting traction or whatever. Y'all would swing in with words of encouragement, and that just means a lot.
One social media tip to the other fatties out there listening to this: 4-word or more comment on everybody's post will help us all so much. If you could just comment with 4 words or more. Not just smiley faces, 4 words. And then that will help us be all out everywhere in everybody's feed, and we'll be more successful. We'll have more people, more guests, more sponsors, more money.
Yeah. I mean, I know that the conversation goes up when we're talking about fat liberation, capitalism kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, of course.
This event has been accused of being commercial. And I'm like, okay, in order for us to lower ticket prices, in order for us to make these things accessible, we're going to need a lot more money coming in so that we can subsidize those things. And so in order to opt out of capitalism, you have to have the capital.
Thank you.
Period. Like, capitalism is not going to disappear in a decade. It's not going to disappear in 20 years. I feel like my kid is going to be long and gone and dead, before we even actually start to think about what life post-capitalism will look like. So in order to opt out of it, you got to have it. And sometimes that means like having to reach out to the organizations that have money and things like that. So I don't want to say that you can't have it both ways, but baby, I don't think you can have it both ways right now.
Yes, capitalism, love it and hate it all at the same time.
It is the system, and
so
there's no way around it.
So we have
but you can gamify it. Right. We can team together and use our leverage. We can throw this body around and get more piece of that and use it and to distribute it more into marginalized spaces, like really fast spaces. So sometimes you have to play the game, even though the game is rigged. And if the game is rigged, doesn't mean that you can't break it. You can break it.
Yep. Thank you, Pucks. An amazing interview. Thank you for everything this week.
Absolutely.
And we are looking forward to
this year.
Oh my God.
But first, we rest.
If you want something from me, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't know me for next year.
Soon March.
Yeah.